Strap in. In October 2022, I had some vaginal bleeding, so I went to the doctor and they had me take a pelvic ultrasound in which they found a few minor abnormalities in the uterus. So I wound up I'm looking at my note. So I wound up having this ultrasound, and they went in later and removed whatever was in there. Fine. Meanwhile, I'm still bleeding and can't figure out what's going on. So I go for a colonoscopy. And when I come out of it, the doctor's saying that it looked like cancer. So, of course, that threw me for a loop. But, all right, we got to deal with this. I put all the special details about all of that in another video, which I'll link at the end of this one. So I just wanted to give you a background as to why I've been missing. So you say it's 2023. Okay, where the heck have you been? It's been 2 stinking years, almost 3 years. Well, the dominoes began to fall. Instead of my going through chemo radiation with the first tumor, when I did my 6-month MRI, they determined that the cancer had returned. So I had to go back and have another surgery. Well, they went in, they took it out this time. Instead of being hard-headed, I listened to my doctors and I went through chemo radiation. Now that was November of 2023 through February 2024. And in the middle of all of this, let me add in a few other things. I'm sorry if this is slightly disjointed, but a lot has happened. So before the second surgery, in between there, I had an annual with my primary care physician. And she said, "Linda, what happened to your voice? You've always had a very low register, but something else is going on. So I want you to see an otolaryngologist." Now, I'm not really hearing this until I went back later and saw how it was sounding, because I had recorded myself. And so I could tell, wait a minute, that's real gravelly. So the otolaryngologist later told me that when she walked in the room and heard my voice, she thought she was going to be seeing some extreme damage to my vocal cords. And when she got in there, thankfully the damage wasn't as bad as she expected it to be. But what had happened was my thyroid was full of goiters, had been for over 20 years. I wasn't on any medication for it or anything, but it was causing issues with multiple intubations. So within a 6-month period of time, I had that vaginal surgery. I had the first colorectal surgery. I had the second colorectal surgery. I had to have my thyroid completely removed because the goiters were so big that they were interfering with my vocal cords when they would intubate me. So you got 5 or 6 intubations in a row within 5 to 6 months, and it's pushing past that darn goiter, which was huge on both sides, and it caused damage to my vocal cord to the point where when they looked at it, one cord was really swollen, the other one looked more normal, but they wouldn't really close. I guess it's a certain way they should lay when you're at rest, and they weren't closing. And then they saw a muscle back there that looked where something was kind of swollen and looked like it was painful or working overtime or something. So what they did was they referred me to speech therapy. And after a number of weeks of speech therapy, I learned that That vocal cord is spasmodic, and it will always be spasmodic. The whole point of speech therapy was to help me to cope with that and to learn how to maybe push air a certain way or take more breaths or whatever. So I said, okay, so that's what that case was. The reason I've been missing is because some of you may remember that before all this happened, I had these issues with people telling me I sound like a man and going through all the mental gymnastics because some negative Nelly thought I sound like a man. And so after all of this with my voice and having lost the use of that vocal cord the way that I used to have it, I have no more problem with talking real low. It is what it is. And if people can't listen to that, I'm not for them. I wasn't called to them. And so I have begun to embrace my voice. It is what it is, and nothing I can do about it. And when I lost it so drastically, then I began to see you should have appreciated what you had. At least you had that. I didn't know from one day to the next whether my voice was going to work or not. I didn't know whether I was going to be raspy or not. This is the second time I'm recording this video. I recorded it yesterday, but when I record, to me, I sound like I'm saying every word. But when you play it back, my mouth is moving in some spots and nothing's coming out, right? Or I would have days where I just couldn't talk. So, long story short, I've been off YouTube mainly because of that. It got to the point where I couldn't take any speaking engagements. I haven't really done any coaching in almost 2 years. I couldn't commit to anything because I had no way of understanding whether or not my voice was going to stand up to the challenge. I got a little fed up with it a couple of months ago, and I learned that they can shoot Botox into that vocal muscle, and that will reduce the amount of spasm that I'm getting from that vocal cord. And I decided, well, let me go to the doctor and tell him, look, I got to have some consistency here. I need to know from one day to the next, 1 week to the next, whether or not I can speak. I mean, the business has gone completely dormant in 2 years because of this issue. He showed me my vocal cords, and thank God that swelling's gone. They both look symmetrical. They look very healthy. But again, he's pointing to this muscle behind the vocal cords. He said, that looks like that's really tired and swollen and overworked. So I want you to go and get an esophagram. And what they do is they stand you up, they lay you down, they turn you this way, they turn you that way while you swallow barium. And they take multiple x-rays to see where the blockage is, where you're having issues. So now I found out last week that I have a hiatal hernia. Apparently, even though I'm not aware of any heartburn symptoms, they call it GERD. I'll look it and see what it stands for, put it up here for y'all. And that's the reason why that muscle is so tired, even though I'm not aware of it. So this hernia is according to what I read in the test results, it's moderately broken through my diaphragm. So what they're trying to do now is they have me on medication so that it'll cut back that heartburn that I'm not even aware I had. Okay, maybe some crap's going on at night because that would make sense if indeed I have this heartburn issue. And if it was getting me at night, that would explain why some days I could talk and some days I couldn't. So now I'm waiting till next year when they're going to hook me up with a gastroenterologist, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to determine whether or not I need the minor surgery, the major surgery, or if they're going to just try to treat it with medication. That's where I am today. Now, I need to talk to y'all about another issue I've been having. Trauma mindset. Okay? it's almost like the cancer diagnosis and all of the traumatic operations I had thereafter have left me having to fight a mindset of, why bother? I just got to be honest with y'all. And feeling old, and instead of just being grateful, which I am, I'm highly grateful that they caught the cancer early enough that it hasn't recurred in almost 3 years. I'm grateful to have my life. And I know that I have a purpose. I need to be out here doing this thing that I've been doing. But the truth of the matter is, y'all, I have been slightly unmotivated, extremely unmotivated. When I started having problems with my voice, because I used to be unable to listen to certain voices that people spoke a certain way, or if their voice wasn't exactly perfect, I couldn't listen to it. Well, I've got a lot more tolerance for that now, but I don't want to put anybody else through that. So that if my voice is whack, sounding gravelly and like a frog, I don't want to be recording videos like that, because I want you to focus on the content and not have to fight through my voice. Now, I'm just saying that's how I've been, y'all. I'm not saying that I've got the right mindset about that, because as long as I'm sitting over here feeling old and feeling like, why bother, and my life is over, what way is that for me to be thinking when I know God spared my life? So I'm fighting through that as well. I'll tell you how much of a challenge this whole voice thing is. I've got a video that I've been working on for almost 2 years. In September, it'll be 2 years. And I have recorded that video 3 freaking times, 3 different times. The first time I recorded it, voice drop out. I think I'm talking, that's not coming out of my mouth. I'm getting these vocal glitches and stuff, which, y'all, is really a challenge for me to edit these videos, because there's a lot of popping and stuff that you never hear because I edit it out. But having to edit out so much of that, I mean, I went through a 30-minute video one day, and a total 3 minutes of that video was vocal glitches and pops and stuff. So it's a challenge to even edit these, because I'm not editing just this here, put a picture there. It's like, there's a pop. Let me go cut that out. Oh, there, that your voice dropped out there. Let me go and try to put some volume on that. So it's just been a real challenge. In that video, like I said, I recorded it, and it was terrible. I recorded it again, and now this is over a span of a couple of months. Terrible. I finally said, okay, I'm off camera with this mess. Let me just do a voice over. Did that. Terrible. So I got to shout out a couple of people, and the only reason why I'm even pushing through this is because I recorded this video yesterday, and it was a challenge because I couldn't get my mic to work with my camera, and I filmed around for 2 and 3 hours with that, but I had to push through, and I did record that video. Lighting was whack, voice was whack, everything was just whack, so here I am, re-recording it. But why? Because, you know, sometimes a lot of born-again Christians will understand what I'm saying, but maybe it's happened for all of y'all, where you'll be hearing conversations, you'll watch a video, you'll watch a program, and there's a certain thing that just keeps coming at you. And for me recently, it was friendship. It's like I was asking God, okay, what are you telling me here? You're telling me you want me to develop more friendships. And so I just sat on it for a while. Now, I do have a very dear friend. Name is Debbie. I put her right here, okay? And Debbie is the girlfriend that was my ride or die throughout all of these surgeries. She was there when they gave me the cancer diagnosis. So she just really been there. And this girl is an angel to me. She's an angel to me. But I think God was challenging me to really put forth more of an effort, maybe there, but also to have more people in my life that would have my back if something went wrong. So I just sat on it, and then one day my phone rang. It was Joyce. And I hadn't talked to Joyce in years since my sister had died back in 2014. But we had talked over the years because I used to work with her and I handled some union matters for her. And when her husband was very sick, we had a lot of conversations around that. But when she called, I saw it. I said, no, I don't feel like we'll be talking for hours. So it slipped my mind. And a couple of days later, she called again. I picked up the phone and she challenged me. She challenged me. First of all, Linda, you were there for me when I needed somebody. Give me that chance to be there for you. Just call me. And she told me she'd be praying for me. So I committed to her on the phone that day. I said, okay, next week I will get out a video. And that's why I kept fighting through trying to get that done yesterday. Like Joyce acted as an accountability partner for me in that moment. And after I spoke with her, I noticed that my motivation did come back. I got a lot of stuff done around the house. So because I had committed to her, no matter what my voice did, no matter what technical challenges I was having, I was going to get that video done yesterday. So aside from Joyce, there's Jason Adams. He is a jeweler extraordinaire and an artist whose videos I watch all the time. And I have fallen in love with this man. Just, you know how some people are just so full of just realness. And what I love about Jason is that he is who he is. Without apology. Remember, I always tell you guys, your greatest power is realizing the truth of who you are. This guy is all of that. He is who he is without apology. And I just love that about him. It makes him such a unique individual. And Jason knows his stuff. He got a mind like a steel trap. And he's another reason that I'm here doing this video despite having all of these vocal issues, right? Jason, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you. Okay? So between Jason, Joyce, and Debbie, those are my go-to support system. So Debbie, Joyce, Jason, I love you guys. Now with respect to the channel, let's just say in the next 7 days, I'm going to be working hard on that video that I've been working on for over a year and a half, and you should see that come out. I'm going to try to focus on that rather than to do any other videos for a while. And once I get that done and get that up, you will be seeing more of me because I need to push past this. Hey, this is the truth. I've got a vocal challenge that apparently will never go away. I need to pay attention to what my doctors tell me to do. They told me to take this medicine in 2023. I wasn't feeling any heartburn, anything like that, so I didn't take it. Big dummy. Just do what they tell you to do. I could be 2 years ahead of this mess by now. So, hey, that's me not listening to people, not wanting to do the chemotherapy, wound up under the knife again because they came back. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm surviving. Thankfully, when I had that esophageal thing, when nobody coming back talking about we see cancer. So I'm happy with all of that. I can deal with a little hiatal hernia, even if it takes major surgery to deal with. I can deal with that. I just never want to hear cancer again. And as for the rest of y'all, you can be helpful if you just double check your subscription. Sometimes YouTube deletes your subscriptions. So if you ever subscribe to the channel, please go back and double check that you are subscribed. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I upload my next videos. I will be more active going forward. So I'd appreciate all your support. just by making a comment on this video. Share it out if somebody you think might benefit from something I said here today. And always remember, your greatest power is realized in the truth of who you are. Know that truth.
Hey, if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when we upload, and like and share the video. Thanks.